Vale, vatos, here again with yet another daily reminder that all politics is staged. It is faked. It is a show. No better off than the world wrestling entertainment business. All of it a stage to make you engaged, so you hate your fellow man and woman, while, of course, the actors behind them are all in on it, as they not only take away your money behind the scenes, but also screw you with it afterwards. Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair description of what's going on in our political landscape. Like the latest example of Nancy Pelosi pre-ripping pages of the State of the Union speech that she ripped up, while the humble $26.4 million worth public servant pretty much is in lockstep and barrel with, of course, supporting and promoting the military-industrial complex, neoconservative line of thinking, signing, of course, record defense spending bills that Donald Trump proposed to her. Many of that money being siphoned away from the taxpayers, still not being enough, and is indebting this country and its future populations. And where did these trillions of dollars gone? Well, they can't even account for it. Yes, that is the politics of our modern day, and this is why in this video we're going to be expanding on that topic and how right now, honestly, it looks like the Republicans and Donald Trump have that coveted fake WWE belt, while, of course, unlike Jeffrey Epstein, the Democrats are hanging themselves. And we will continue to repeat the 8-year cycle, where now the Republicans have the belt. They will give it up to the Democrats, and again, it will just keep on going, once further distracting you from the reality of the severe situation that the real people in charge actually have set for us. So yeah, kind of lighthearted topic, easy thing to talk about. Nothing controversial here at all. So yeah, and we're going to do all of this in the context of news, like we do every single day, and this is possible because of your support and you guys checking out our merchandise store, which you could buy a whole bunch of phone cases, hats, t-shirts, like this really cool one that talks about how, all my favorite channels are being demonetized or deleted or just soft censored, which is happening to this channel. And again, your purchases of this merchandise allow these videos to be available for you for free every single day. So yeah, sincerely, thank you everyone who supports us this way. Now, just jumping right into it, I think it's pretty clear the mood on, the side that has the title belt. The Republicans has been very celebratory recently, especially with the latest announcements of Donald Trump being acquitted, the Iowa mess that's unfolding, and of course a very divided Democratic Party filled with a lot of drama that has been spurred on and encouraged by, of course, the president himself as well. The president was even just on national television and declared that what was happening to him with the impeachment was, quote, all bull-ish. We can't say that word because YouTube's policing everything very severely. And let's just be honest here, because when the news of the impeachment first came out, we were here to call it out as being absolutely dumb. Out of all the things to go after, to attack, to investigate, you go after Donald Trump trying to expose the very nasty nepotism that was happening between the media's favorite presidential candidate that absolutely came out recently. A lot of people don't have interest in, except for the media elites, Joe Biden and his son, who, by the way, performed very poorly in the Iowa caucus, which was a surprise to many of the media elites that have been cheering him on as the frontrunner, when it looks like he is finishing in a dismal 4th place in the results from yet again another controversy that the Democrats essentially shot themselves in their own foot with, since many people have called it just a corrupt, rigged Iowa crap show that has made people lose faith and trust in the Democrats and have only prompted up Donald Trump. Let's just be honest here. And then even some media elites are trying to blame everything somehow on the Republicans when it was a new app called Shadow. The Shadow, they couldn't think of a worse name. The Shadow app that was allegedly malfunctioning here with, of course, gross ties to this private company, gross ties to Hillary Clinton's campaign. They refused to have a security check by Homeland Security, and they received most of their money from George Soros. And now the DNC is trying to say that this kind of gross manipulation, which by the way is showing that Bernie Sanders will most likely still be the winner here. By the way, the reporting is still not in. The Democratic Party is slow dripping them, and many people are coming out on Twitter and letting people know that a lot of what the Democratic Party is doing is just absolute nonsense. Meanwhile, a new media establishment darling came out of the race to declare himself a winner when none of the votes were still officially in. That, of course, is this man who has been dubbed CIA Pete, who of course officially was working for a CIA front company that there's very little information about with his time with that front agency. The company that of course I'm talking about is of course McKinsey, where much of Buttigieg's work is still secret. And if it couldn't get worse, the lady that stole the previous Democratic election away from Bernie Sanders, Hillary Clinton, just recently came out and had the gall to say that she is not ruling out becoming a potential vice president. And again, it's been days since we still could even get the direct results of exactly what happened during the Iowa crap show. But again, it shows the continual finagling by the Democratic establishment elite, again, disparaging, not caring about the true people in their party that there is energy behind, and honestly is disillusioning a lot of them. It's almost as if the Democrats are deliberately taking the fall, slipping here, obsessing about Russian collusion that didn't exist, going after impeachment on such a dumb issue, screwing over their own constituents to put forward more of an establishment shill, disregarding the real needs and wants of their party as they clearly are hanging themselves. Again, unlike Jeffrey Epstein, which we're going to get into in the next story. And if there was a comparison to the Democratic equivalent of a wrestler in the WWE, it would be Doink the Clown. Yep, that's them. That's Pelosi, Schiff, all of them. And again, I say this absolutely not being a fan of Donald Trump, but this is the truth in my opinion. Now, moving forward in yet more relevant, important stories. This one, of course, is a bombshell. We covered this just a little bit in yesterday's video, but I think the bigger takeaway is that, holy freaking cow, the international child trafficker connected to government agencies, Jeffrey Epstein, had his own frickin' bank, which, again, just recently moved millions of dollars since his death, which no one could account for. No one knows why his secret bank and his bank account moved millions of dollars after his death. The lawyers, the estate, the official people representing Jeffrey Epstein are saying that there was some kind of error, but again, that's extremely not likely with millions of dollars being moved and funneled away, which hints to the possibility that Jeffrey Epstein could, of course, still be alive. It's very much a possibility with, of course, the official story of what happened to Jeffrey Epstein not making any sense at all, and it becoming its own conspiracy theory within a conspiracy theory. Seriously, if you believe the official version of that Jeffrey Epstein story, you need to have your head examined. Again, just wanted to bring up that story since it should be front page news everywhere, but everyone's talking about Doink the Clown ripping some frickin' papers. Also, in a desperate attempt to make people pay attention to what's happening around the world, some news organizations are threatening that Apple iPods, excuse me, they don't have those anymore. I'm an old man. Apple AirPods could possibly become limited in supply since, of course, the coronavirus is still wreaking havoc in China. And of course, we talked about the larger economic ramifications from all of this, as of course, not only tourism, but travel is down all throughout China. Taiwan has just announced that they are suspending all travel from China, Hong Kong, and Macau effective immediately, with even Saudi Arabia just announcing that they are banning travelers from China themselves, being, of course, the 16th nation to do so, over fears of this virus spreading, which we still don't know the full extent of, since, of course, we are also getting news that the newly hospital that was just built just ran out of beds to cope with the number of infected individuals, as, of course, many expect the official numbers to be way higher than, of course, the Chinese state and government are reporting. The official reports that we are getting right now are as listed right in front of you on this screen. The trajectory, especially in mainland China, is still increasing dramatically. And again, many people fear to be far worse than what is being reported. There's also Chinese state media organizations reporting that the doctor who sounded the alarms about this virus officially passed away. That has not been corroborated. There are conflicting news reports, some of them listing him as still in critical condition and still alive after, of course, he got the coronavirus after treating many people who came down with the virus. Now, again, conflicting reports. We still don't know the truth about this Chinese doctor who, by the way, was freaking punished for raising the alarm bells about this virus early on. He was detained. He was arrested. He was interrogated by the security officials in China. The Chinese government has been spending an unknown large amount of resources towards censoring the internet, censoring photos and videos from coming out, arresting and detaining other doctors and other journalists that are telling the world exactly what is happening in that country. Again, there's also other reports of doctors having to make up their own safety gear since they are under-equipped to deal with this virus, as the Chinese government is more concerned with censoring and controlling the narrative than they are with this virus. And this is one reason why, of course, we should be worried about the full extent of exactly what is happening. Now, again, the risk of you, especially living in the West, of getting this is extremely low. There's other news coming in that's worth taking a look at, including this report that claims that a Chinese man caught the disease after just being near an infected woman for 15 seconds. Again, could be a possibility, but the Chinese state is being extremely aggressive, not only quarantining entire villages and cities, but locking people into their own apartment buildings so they can't leave, as crazy scenes unfold all over China, with many people being forced quarantined, including passengers on cruise ships. There's been many reports of passengers getting sick on cruise ships, but now on one of them, we are getting reports that 20 passengers have caught the coronavirus on them, with the infection on this one cruise ship doubling in just 2 days, as there's still 3,700 tourists trapped on this boat with very close quarters next to each other. So yeah, that is definitely not a situation that I would like to be on, but that's the situation that the world is in. And it could be worse. Anyway, that's my particular take on it. If you think I missed the news story, definitely let me know on my Twitter account, twitter.com/Luke We Are Change, where you could see posts like this and many others. And because you guys still follow me, because you guys watch all the way up until this video, sincerely from the bottom of my heart, I love you guys. Thank you again so much for watching. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.